Good morning. Good morning. It's Surprise Saturday workout. And today we've got a HIIT style workout with strength exercises and with a little bit of Pilates recovery for our in between time. So a little combination of fusion of strength and Pilates. And we're going to do it HIIT style for the strength, which HIIT stands for high intensity interval training, which means we're going to go as hard as we can, and hard for everyone is going to be different. So it's not going to look the same for everyone. So if you're just getting started, body weight exercises and doing things that just go a little bit to your get you a little uncomfortable with the movement, with the intensity, that's where you want to go. So if you've been working out a while and used to having some kind of a load, then maybe you want to add some dumbbells or resistance bands to the exercises today. So I'll show you lots of options for each of the movements and as we go. So we're going to do 4 sections, and each of them will be, we'll have 3 rounds in each of the sections. I'll guide you along as we go. So equipment, you don't need any equipment if you are just starting out, or really you can get a nice workout without any equipment at all. But if you like, you can have some dumbbells and a resistance band on the side if you want to level it up. And you can have a pillow. We may need some as we go to the floor. Just make sure your surface on the floor, because we will be going down to the floor at some point. You will need something that will be comfortable lying on the floor. You could also have a chair available or a bench available for some options and exercises. We'll be doing push-ups. So if you like to do wall push-ups, maybe be close to a wall for that section. All right, if you have any questions about the workout, you know how to get a hold of me. So here we go. We're gonna start warming up just a little bit with a little breath. So taking a deep breath in, inhale and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale out. Good. We're going to start just by swinging those arms up and down. So let's make sure that the arms are working in the shoulders only, especially if you're sitting a lot or you're not moving your arms a whole lot. This may be a little bit difficult to move. So just kind of getting the shoulders worked out, because we might be on our hands a little bit with those push-ups. Just kind of getting that into the groove. Hands down here. Let's start with a little bit of a knee bend. So a tiny little squat, but just tiny little beam in. So kind of feel the ankles, feel the knees bending, just a little bit of a squat here. All right, I'm gonna bring my hands down here. So I'm gonna coordinate. I'm gonna bring one arm up with my squat. I'm gonna keep it in the middle, then bring my other arm up and bring it in the middle. Just getting those knees kind of warmed up, legs warmed up. Now in the middle here, I'm gonna take a little bit of a rise. I'm gonna find my balance first. And then I'm going to go to the other side and then rise. That first one is always tricky. And then bend and rise. You kind of have to tell your body what to do first, and then it'll respond. So it's like there's a delay. Always a delay. But that's all right. We got it. So we'll squat and rise. So let's take one more on each side. And last time. Excellent. I'm just going to do a little step to the side here. So sideways step back and forth. I'm going to get kind of big here. A little big. Good. Now I'm just going to take my arms and swing them out. So as wide as I can go. It's almost like I'm sliding. Just a little lateral raise. Side step. Just getting the heart rate going a little bit. I'm getting the side of those legs warmed up too. All right, I'm going to take one more to this side, and I'm going to balance on one leg here. Take it again, balance on one leg. So challenging that balance, a little bit of one leg stability. All right. Last time, I'm going to hold it here. Now I'm going to go into that bowler squat. Do you remember bowler squat? One leg bends and come up. Let's go to the other side. Balance, bowler squat. Like that. This is the warm up. It is indeed the warm up. Those. So I'm just a one leg squat. Opposite arm is reaching down. Hit opposite, right? Do what I do, not what I say. See, that's why you have a bench here, so you can hold on for bowler squats. All right, this one I'm going to step back now into a lunge. So we get a little bit of a stretch here. You can put the heel all the way down if you like for balance, or you can pop it up, bend a little bit here, get that pelvis nice and vertical. Let's take some side stretches here. If you like, you could have a chair available. I'm going to go to the other side. And I'm going to take a little front and back, rounding and releasing through the chest. Breathing. Now I'm going to take a little pelvic tilt here. So a little tilt and release for that pelvis in this position. Good. One more time with that side stretch. Good. Now I'm going to step on that back leg. I'm going to pick up that front foot, bend on that back leg, reach for my hamstring, and then come back up. I'm going to reach down and come back up. And you can bring both hands if you like, or you can take more of a twist. So just a little dynamic stretch for that hamstring. Absolutely could hold on here if you like. Just a little back and forth rocking, feeling that stretch through the hamstring. Let's go to the other side with that side step lift again. So we got to do it all on the other side. Let's hold it here for balance. Bowler squat. Good. And then step back to that lunge. All right. Keeping that heel down if you like, more for balance, or pop it up. Pelvis vertical, bending, side stretch. Got my support here. Breathing. And then releasing through the front. And then opening front of the chest. So releasing the back, really rounding and releasing. And then I'll just take a little pelvic tilt here. Just kind of warming up through the pelvis, getting all that kind of stuck tissue, getting it moving so our hips can be nice and mobile. All right, let's take that hamstring movement. So I'm stepping back, reaching for my foot, and then coming back up. You can use both hands or no hands, or even a little twist. All right, how are we feeling already? Let's take a little bit of a cat and cow movement. So if you like, you can prop your hands on a chest, on a chair, on chest, well, whatever. And then, or you can go down to the floor and take a little flexion and extension for that spine. Breathing. And last time, rounding and releasing, and we'll come up to stand. All right, we're gonna start with our first movement is a lunge. So we just worked on here. So one foot in front of the other, back foot pop, back knee starts the movement down. We go straight up and down. So you can do that just like that, straight up and down, holding onto a chair. You could do this in a walking format, a walking forward lunge. You could do these in a reverse lunge, stepping backward, alternating. You could also challenge one leg, do more than one on one leg, and then switch over to the other leg. We're going to go for 1 minute with our lunges. So whatever style of lunge you would like to do, you may also hold a weight while you're doing the lunge to load it up, or you could hold 2 dumbbells on the side for your lunge. All right, so So whatever way you want to take those lunges, we will go for 1 minute. Go as hard as you can. Keep the intensity up for 1 minute, and then we're going to rest with some Pilates. 1 minute, and here we go. I'm going to hold on to my weight. Here, I'm going to go for a reverse lunge, and I'm going to alternate them. You could stay in that position, just go straight up and down. Make sure your torso is nice and tall. Your abdominals are pulled in. This is 30 seconds in case you were challenging one leg at a time. Switch legs. So working hard. Here we go. Almost there. Hopefully my timer, sometimes it doesn't ding. All right, there we go. And we are at 30 seconds. Let's head to the floor. So we're gonna do a 1 leg stretch for our recovery. Taking it all the way down to the back. I'm gonna pop my camera down. All the way to the floor. Ribs and hips are together here, so really relaxing through the torso, shoulders back. We're gonna slide 1 leg out, keeping the hips nice and stable by drawing in through the abdominals. So we're gonna alternate, kick your weight on the floor, back and forth. 1 leg stretch. Leveling this up, I'm gonna take it 1 leg at a time. It's gonna come to tabletop and reaching out and in. You can do that on 1 leg and then practice with the other leg. So the pelvis should not move. If you want to level it up even more, we're going to reach out with both legs, holding in this double tabletop position. Leveling it up even more, I can bring the chest up. Good. And you can challenge this by working 1 leg only at a time. And then, or you can alternate. We'll just do a few more. I won't time these sessions, but we'll try to go for about a minute. Same as our intense strength session. Okay, I'm going to take 2 more here. And then bring it down. All right, we're back up for our minute of lunges. All right, so go ahead and grab your weights if you like. I'm going to show a walking lunge this time. So here we go, a minute. And here we go. So you can practice these by stepping forward, coming up. Maybe you could even lift up your leg in between, add a little bit of intensity there. You could even stretch and do a little kick. So you can add your own little flavor to these exercises. And even mix it up in between. So maybe you do some few with a weight to start. Then maybe you walk it out to finish. Do the opposite of what I just did. Make sure you're breathing, not holding your breath through the exercises. You should be able to breathe well. If at any point you can't catch your breath, just drop the intensity. All right, that's our minute. We're heading back down for our 1 leg stretch. So back down to the floor, taking a breath. Good, and 1 leg stretch. So I'll start kind of our level 1. If that's where you are, and wherever you are with these movements, it's great. It's always great to practice the most basic of the movements so that when you get to a place where you can practice the movement at another level, the movement quality is going to be there for you. The pattern is going to be set. like learning how to write, learning how to shape the letters. Same thing with our body. We have to learn kind of the movement and how the joints work. And if we can start and let things support us, like the floor or a band or a coach, then you'll set yourself up to be able to progress in a way that is meaningful and that just really is going to benefit your body a whole lot more than just kind of trying to force yourself through a harder movement than you're ready for. And wherever you are, it's quite okay. Remember to breathe throughout. Keep those abdominals really drawn in, like you're trying to pull the skin away from your leggings. All right, and let's head back to our lunges. This will be our last lunge sequence. So 1 minute on the clock. How are we doing? How are we doing? All right, 1 minute for your lunges. Ready, and here we go. Make sure you're breathing and that body goes straight down and up. So are you folding forward? Are you leaning too much to the side? Make sure the weight is kind of through that whole foot, that front foot, so you can really push up, feel that heel into the floor. So you're pushing up with some kind of intensity there. Okay, I'm gonna go for a walking lunge to finish out. Even add a little bit of a rotation here. You want to challenge balance. Lots of options for lunges. We can even do the rotation on the way up. How about that? Just making it up as I go. All right, one leg stretch. Good. Making sure the center is nice and set here. So this is really the most important part of this exercise, is really feeling this little pull, this little pressure, especially deep into the abdominals, like a corset drawing in. And that's what that deeper transverse abdominis muscle does. It draws everything in and supports the spine. That's what we're challenging here. And then can we do that? And then move from the hip and the knee freely. I'm gonna take a couple more here. And then we're gonna head off to our next section, push-ups. All right, so start at the wall if you're new to push-ups, or start at some kind of an elevated surface. So wherever you are, you're gonna have your hands a little wider than shoulders, hands nice and spread out. My camera thinks I'm talking to it. Nice and spread. Your legs extended into a plank position. Lowering down by pulling the shoulders down and back. See, my shoulder blades are gonna go down and back, and then into each other, pushing up. If you have one of these little stretchy bands, you can take this over above your elbow, and this will give you a little bit of a kind of a rebound effect. So it won't allow you to go all the way down, and it'll kind of pop you back up. So this is a great tool if you have that, especially if you're learning them on the floor. So wherever you are with push-ups, and you can always drop it down to the knee as well. All right, so we're gonna go a minute with push-ups. Give yourself a little rest if you need to. We're going for a minute. Here we go. You can even hold in that plank position for a time. So you hold here, give yourself a rest. You can even drop to your knees and coming back up as you need to. So if you're in that elevated position, and maybe in between, you might want to add a little foot movement here, just something a little different. Good. You could even push back to a little down dog and back. Give yourself a little variety. So I'm just ad-libbing here and giving you choices. Look, it's all options on the table today. So we'll walk around with your feet. Come back, do a push-up in the middle. You drop those knees down. Take it to the wall. There's your minute. Aren't you glad? All right, so we're going to take it down to the floor, still on our backs, but we're going to go to a bridge. So give that upper body a rest and work through the lower body mostly. Feet on the floor. We're going to start with a rolling up bridge. So I'm going to tuck my pelvis under, press my legs down to the floor, come up just to my shoulders, breathing, and then taking the roll down from the top of my spine to the bottom. Now you can stay just like this. This is a really great exercise, especially for trying to maintain some control through your spine. But if you would like to do more, like a little more glute emphasis, you can keep that spine all in one piece and just go straight up and down. You could, if you like, have your feet elevated to do this movement. Get yourself a little bit higher, a little more challenge for the hamstrings. And work that. So a little more strength-based. Or you can really just take this more of a recovery time and roll up. You can add a little bit of a balance challenge at the end with that leg extended. Stay there and come down. All right, let's head back to those push-ups. So we're going to take 1 minute on the clock. Push-ups wherever you're at. Here we go. So you can always go to the wall. Same point set up. Nice and wide here. Hopefully you can see me. And I'm up on my toes just to give myself a little bit of a height. But you can stay down. But you'll want to be able to have the heels to lift so you can move forward and back. Again, elevated the side of a chair, the side of a couch. The weight bench is nice. For this, it's pretty secure and solid. Or even some stairs. You could go on the stairs and have your hands elevated there. All right, we're about at 15 seconds. Again, adding some footwork or just holding that plank position is a nice thing to do here too. Just holding this nice position, getting those shoulders nice and stable is a great way to work that movement too. All right, back to our bridge. So I'll give you some more options. So that rolling up bridge, just working through the spine, letting everything rest. Make sure you don't go up too high. You can always be able to move your head through this movement. Give you some more options for the top here. Extending the leg. You could also take this into a nice kicking movement. With control, of course. While you maintain that stability on the other side. So you can go up and down as many times as you like. You can hold at the top for as long as you like. You can stay here in this position, seeing how you can hold. Squeeze the legs together at the top. In and out. You could have a ball or a pillow in between the legs as something that you could work through inner thighs. So lots of options in this position. So just kind of play around with this movement. I'm going to take it up one more time. I'm going to balance on that one leg. Just a slow lift up and down. Make sure that those abdominals are still engaged here so that they can really support you through that movement. Squeezing through the glutes and coming back down. All right, last set of push-ups. Are you ready? 1 minute for a high intense session. Let's see how many we can do. 1 minute, ready? And let's go. Another way to practice push-ups is just going down. So if you're in this position and you just lower yourself down all the way to the floor and then set yourself back up without the push, that is one way that you can work and challenge the shoulders without having that intensity of the push up. So that's a great way to train that movement pattern. And again, resting, you take a little movement with the feet. How are we doing? How are we doing? All right, that is our time. Back to our bridge. All right, rolling up. We're getting a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather. Good. You can even do little marches here without a full leg kick. Bring it up and down. So think of all the options we've done and decide which ones you want to focus on right now. Okay, that straight leg press up and down is a nice one. Okay, make sure the ribs are not popping out. Everything stays all in one line, like you had a plank in the front and the back of your spine, and it just all goes up in one piece and down in one piece. I'm gonna kick the bench. I knew it was. All right. Let's head into our next movement, our squat. Yes, squats, fantastic. We love them so much. So we're just starting out with a squat. You may want to have a chair at the ready. Feet about hip width or a little wider, probably apart, pushing those hips back like you're going to sit down. You can sit all the way down if you like and then push back, or you can kind of challenge it, just tap it down and pop it back up. If you are experienced with your squats, we're going body weight squats here, as far as down as you can. And then, of course, you want to challenge it with some load for sure, adding these goblet style squats here, holding that weight right close to your body. You could hold 2 dumbbells by your side and squat just like that as well. All right, those are our options. Squats for 1 minute. Here we go. So chair squats. If you like, keeping that back nice and straight. So notice we're not going to round through the back. We're going to keep it nice and tall. Bending at the hips, bending at the knees, weight on the heels. Body weight squats, if we're practicing going low, we can here. Sometimes I like to hold on to a strap or a band that's attached to the door so I can work on that straightness of my spine here. And then when you're ready, adding a little bit of load, a little bit of pressure here, a little bit of intensity to that movement. Really pressing through the feet, through the legs, and that is your time. All right, we're going to go to our front side on the floor. So if you'd like to have a pillow ready, I'm going to prop my forehead on for a breaststroke movement. So we're going to work a little bit of upper back. So make sure your abdominals are pulled in here. Forehead is on the pillow so that you can breathe. My hands are going to be by my side to start. So pull in your belly, reach down towards your feet so your shoulders are away from your ears. And I'm just going to relax my shoulders down again. So open my shoulders and then reach for my feet. I head slightly off the pillow, and then coming down. That's kind of the level 1 breaststroke. Keep the abdominals pulled in, the legs will stay on the floor. So open the shoulders, reach for the feet, lift, keep the head in line with the spine. So don't lift the chin, keep it right where it is. We're lifting with the back. More breathing. Now, if you like, you can also try the hands on the head for a little more intensity. So we lift up all the way, our shoulders are set right away, and then we reach with our arms, bringing them down, lifting a little further, coming back down to rest. So that's another little level up here. Breathing. So this is our breaststroke movement for our back. I'm going to do one more. And coming back. All right, let's go to our squats again. 1 minute. All right, are you ready? Squat. Here we go. I'm going to start a little bit heavier, and then I'll probably have to drop that down as we go. You really feel the whole foot into the floor. If you cannot go all the way down yet, that is quite all right. Go as far down as you can, but I would encourage you to keep challenging that range of motion. Keep challenging all the way down as far as you can, where you can keep your spine nice and straight. And body weight squats are great. I'm going to pop down to a lower weight. Give myself a little breather in between. That's quite all right. Not trying to kill ourselves here. We're just trying to challenge it just a bit. And that is our time. All right, heading down to the floor for that breath. Again, just starting out with this one, recommending the pillow under the forehead with arms here, shoulders relaxed, belly pulled in. Shoulders lift, lower, and return. Coordinating the breath, inhaling, exhaling to lift, inhaling, and then exhaling to lower. And then without the pillow, we have inhale, exhale to lift, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And really, the breath, you can kind of make up that pattern, really, that makes sense to you. Sometimes the coordination feels better at some intervals, just so that you are continuously finding that breath. And at any time, you need a little break. For your back, a child's pose is a nice kind of alternate opposite position to get from. All right, last set of squats. Here we go. 1 minute on the clock. All right. And again, you can always add that chair for some balance. Where's my chair? Find the chair first, right? So you can even stop and push up through that movement, right? Yeah. My back said, you need to get a little bit lighter today. So that's what I'm going to do. Engage through the front. So even though this is a leg, it's really a full body workout. Holding those abdominals in. We want intensity, but not pain. All right, there's your minute. Back down for our breaststroke. Good, level one. We are just unfolding the shoulders, lifting and coming down. And make sure that head is in line with your spine. So no lifting, no neck movement here. So it's all about the spine moving. Bend the spine in a different way than we normally bend it, right? We don't hardly bend our spine this way, do we? Belly pulled in. Make sure you do not feel this in the lower back. This should be more about upper back, so that belly and the abdominal muscles are supporting this movement. All right, when you're ready, we'll take a little child's pose, because now we are on the home stretch. One more round of movement. So we're gonna go for a row. So if you have a band, this would be a great way to do it. We can also do this with dumbbells. So a rowing movement, so pulling into the back through the shoulder. If you don't have any kind of resistance, you can use a blanket or a towel. Sorry, Snow. And you can do a little pull. So I'm gonna sit on my bench and I'm just gonna engage through my back, kind of pulling, squeezing my back together, here, my shoulder blades together, just by pulling on something. So it's harder to do. You can do this isometric without anything pulling together. Or if you like, you can have a band. You can do two together and do two arm row, pulling back here. You could do this seated on the floor, seated row, or you could take this in a single arm movement. You don't have to use that whole band. You can tie it around one foot and pull with the other. You could do this standing, one foot on one side of the band, or with a dumbbell. Rowing movement. Here. All right, so we'll take 1 minute for rows. I'll give you that 30 seconds in case you want to do one arm at a time. So here we go. 1 minute on the clock. Let's see if we can start a little heavier. All right, that is 30 seconds. Go ahead and switch sides if you want to. If you're doing both sides, just keep going. If you're doing both arms at the same time. If you're in this kind of standing position, make sure you're solid on those legs. Abdominals are supporting the body. And that is our time. All right, we're gonna go to our side. So if you have a pillow, you wanna have that for under your head. And we're gonna do a one leg kick here. So stability on the side, but also some endurance and stability for our side leg. Bottom leg is bent. My bottom arm is just under my pillow, just supporting my head right here. Hip is down, abdominals in. I'm gonna be right on top of my hips or a little more forward. I'm gonna kick the front leg forward. I'm gonna flex it and pull it back. Now, you can do this with a bent leg if this sort is not quite very stable yet. So I'm going to pretend like I'm sliding that leg on a table, and I'm not going to let my knee drop. So you really have to stabilize yourself with that torso. You don't want this to turn into this movement. So how far can I move my leg without moving my torso? And so if the bent leg feels pretty good, you can do that with a straight leg. I like to point here and then flex on the way back. You can use this hand here to support a little bit. I'm going to do one more, and then we'll practice on the other side. All right, gently take yourself over to the other side. A great way to challenge the endurance of the hip, but also the abdominals. They really have to support you and stabilize you. Hip down, knees bent, and just about hip width of that height. So you want them to kind of be in line. Start with that bent leg. See where you get. So that shorter lever will be a little bit easier, but again, this is quite the challenging movement. And then when you're ready, you can take it into that straight leg movement. So the idea is to keep that leg on the same level, so the same height, the same distance away from the floor throughout that movement. Keeping very, very conscious of what's happening with your back. If you feel the lower back into it, really brace here. And then don't go as far with the movement. So go only as far as you can go without compromising your back. And let it rest. All right, back to our rows. I'm going to go with a double arm row. I'm going to do this on the floor, actually. I'll show you the floor. All right, 1 minute. Here we go. So you could have the band here, and you could just take this a nice double arm row. You could even practice with the grip. So I have my hands facing each other. It's kind of neutral. Or you could take it with the palms down. So you could prop this. If it is too much, you could prop yourself up onto a chair. Or, come on, I'll tell you when 30 seconds goes in case you're doing that. One arm. Oh, we're about 30 seconds. All right. And we are at 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. All right. Onto the side again for that one leg. One leg kick, or side kick, I think is what it's called, actually. All right. Hip down, shoulder away from the ear, knees bent, top leg either bent or straight. Your choice here. And just go slow with this one, especially at first, because it's really more important about getting that quality movement at the hip. And feel at the back of that movement that your glute is going to contract so that it can bring the leg behind you a little bit. And the glute is what's going to make that leg go, not your back, right? You want the glute to do the movement, not your lower back. I'm going to do 2 more here. And last one. And then we'll take it to the other side. How are we doing? How are we doing? All right. And hip down, leg bent, top leg bent or straight. I'll show the bent leg here first. Again, keeping on that plane, watch that knee, sometimes the knee wants to kind of drop or the leg is going in all different planes. So again, try to imagine it, that it's on the table and you're just sliding it back and forth across the table. Good. Think about the shoulder going down away from your ear. Breathing. I'm going to do 2 more. And then we'll take our last set of rows. All right. You could also take double dumbbell rows too. If you have a bench, you could even prop up the bench and have your chest propped up and taking those rows this way if you like. So lots of options for doing rows. I'm going to take the single again with a little bit lighter weight. All right, let's go for 1 minute. Here we go. Remember, quality of movement. And sometimes if you want to challenge more endurance, you could go a little bit lighter weight and go a little bit quicker. But just change one variable at a time. So change the load, change the speed. All right, we're over the 30 seconds. I need to have like a 30 second, I need to have like a whistle at 30 seconds or something. Breathing. And that is your minute. All right, side kick for the last time, and then you will be done, friends. You will be done for today. For today. Okay. Nice side lying position. Side kick when you're ready. Either that bent leg or that straight leg point, and then flex on the way back. Remember to engage that glute and keep everything really nice and still. And every time you do it, just keep monitoring what's happening with your body. And it's probably going to feel a little bit different every time you go. Also keep this bottom leg. Mine just wanted to lift up, which reminded me that that bottom leg really is kind of engaged and pressing into the floor. You can peek down at that leg just to kind of see what it's doing. You could even close your eyes to just experience the movement and just kind of really challenging yourself to feel the movement without looking at it. All right, let's take it to the other side. Engagement here, hip down, leg extended, or leg bent. Once this feels pretty good, you can challenge this with some speed. But again, it has to be from the leg and not from the torso. If you feel any part of the spine moving, then you'll need to slow it down or head back to this movement here. It is a pattern that is not, and this is a new exercise for you, then definitely keep it slow and get control of the torso before moving on. Your body will thank you. All right, and that is it there. Let's take just one little side stretch here. It won't be too much stretch. I'll let you take your stretch on your own, but for now, we'll just take either a seated position, or you can prop yourself up onto a pillow here, or if you'd like to take that kind of a mermaid stretch with one leg back. I'm just going to take a little side movement here. And then I'll just take a forward and back. And take the hands behind, spreading the chest. You could even lift up if you're in this mermaid position. I'm going to go again with a side stretch. Try to keep your hips on the floor. Just let it flow. Go forward and back. And I'm going to switch my legs if you're in that mermaid position. If not, just stay there and go again with me side. Forward and back. And here you can really round the spine if you like in that forward position. This is just about kind of letting go. Breathing. Thanking yourself. And thanking your body for supporting you today. Okay, let's take our weight up to stand if you need a prop to help you out. If not, hands here and just kind of rolling your spine all the way to stand. Giving yourself a little hug, a little pat on the back for doing a great job today. Camera, pop up so you can see my face. Great job today. If you have any questions about the workout, let me know how it went for you today. Would love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Have a great Saturday or whenever you're doing this workout, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.